The following content is explicit. Listener discretion is advised.
And welcome back to the Red Rum Podcasters. I'm Kristen.
And I'm Natasha. That's a little peppy, wasn't it?
Oh, yeah.
I know. That's like a lot peppier than my normal, I'm Natasha.
Maybe it's the weather today. We
Oh.
have been in Indiana hell for the last week.
So, day before yesterday, somebody was telling me that they got on their weather app for the feels like, and it was 125 degrees.
Yeah.
Fuck that. I don't know when I decided to move to Satan's Taint, but it needs to not happen again. But this morning, you're right. Maybe that's what it is, because it is fantastic outside. It feels like fall.
Yeah, it's like 68 degrees, I think is what my car said on the way here this morning.
Yep, no sun. It's nice. It's
It
cool.
rained last night.
It was chef's kiss. It's been great.
Which is like the complete opposite of what it normally does when it rains. So that's how you know we're like transitioning into fall, is whenever it gets cooler when it rains and not hot as balls.
Yeah, you're not breathing in soup.
Yeah.
You're actually enjoying.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, this is fantastic. I walked outside. I was like, oh, it's getting to be spooky season, and I am so pumped. By the way, I'm on the hunt. I've been on the hunt for the last week for events. So
I'm gonna have to tell my mom the month of October I'm gonna need the babysittings.
Yes. So I've been scouting it out. So I'm hoping, with going out to places, getting more experiences to share on here and that kind of thing. So just a heads up, I've got some that I got my eyes on.
We gotta wear merch.
I even tried to find some that were in the state, so it wouldn't be as bad.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed.
The only bad part is my husband's gone for almost 2 weeks in the month of October.
Well, that's a buzzkill.
Yeah, him and his brother and his dad
Ah,
and their friend are all going on a big hunting trip in Colorado.
well, I'd rather do that.
Ben is so excited. Like, it's kind of cute to see how excited he is. He's just excited to be able to, like, make these memories with his brother and his dad.
Yeah, for sure. Well, so Clark's going to be gone, now that you mentioned that. I totally forgot. It's Guys Weekend that he does every year, where they go to Wisconsin, and usually I end up with drunk phone calls, and it's a blast because
Oh my gosh, that would be like the best.
I mean, last time they called me, it was so funny because he's drunker than a skunk. And he's like, honey, I love you so much, and I miss you. And I was like, how much have you had to drink? And he's, enough. And then I hear, give me the phone, give me the phone, give me the phone. And then all of a sudden I have another friend, I miss you too. I love you. When are you going to come with us and hang out? And I don't know which one of his buddies it was, but then I hear, no, give me the phone. So I got tossed around to all of the friends, and they told me how much they loved me and how much fun it would be if, we were all hanging out, and it was a good time.
The last time Ben went on a guys' weekend, they went to Vegas. And
Eek.
I got calls from the crazy ex-wife telling me that she didn't think that they were actually in Vegas.
Oh, yeah. You told me about that.
I mean, this bitch calls me at like 7 a.m. on a Saturday. I'm 8 months pregnant with a 2-year-old also in the house. And I've been by myself without my husband for help, and she calls me, she's like, I don't think they're actually in Vegas. And I was just like, bitch, if my husband tells me he's in Vegas, he's in Vegas. I've seen the pictures. That's where we went for our honeymoon. I know where he's at. He's not sending me a picture from some random ass In-N-Out burger out west. Like, I know we went to that one.
Yeah,
like,
my thing would have been, if he's not in Vegas, he's not going to survive if he gets home. Okay, a little bit of personal info here. So my second husband and I, God, that sounds horrible. But anyway, so my second husband and I, we went to Vegas, and we got married in Vegas on Friday the 13th.
nice.
And so it was a good time. But we had a blast and everything. So, but it was so hot. It was like July, and Vegas in July. Oh my God, I about melted.
We went the week of Thanksgiving. So we got married in November, and then the week, so we went to work the week after our wedding, and then that next Saturday after our wedding, we left for Vegas, and we were there for like Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and we flew back Wednesday, and we got in like really late Wednesday night.
Yeah.
And our first Thanksgiving is typically at my uncle's house, and that's my dad's side's Thanksgiving. he lived in Greenwood. So we just got a hotel up there so that we didn't have to like drive an hour and a half home and then drive an hour and a half back up.
Yeah.
So we like roll up to Thanksgiving, like suitcases in the back of the truck, like everything.
That's
so
awesome.
We just start, and it was like the nicest Thanksgiving because we didn't have to start so early.
Yeah, you just relax, show up, have a good time, and then go home and deal with all of the.
I did have
unpacking.
to. I was like, man, I got to make sure I got something to wear for Thanksgiving whenever I pack, though.
Stretchy pants.
Yeah. It's typically like leggings under a long shirt or dress.
Yeah, so that's usually my go-to. Lately, I've kind of just went with the dress thing because the leggings are so kind of constricting when you eat too much food and your leggings are tight. So I've just been rocking like the dress.
I also have two littles that I have to chase around our Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah. I'm bored. I want to go home. I want to do this. It's usually, hey, I'm going to go play basketball with, cousin X.
Yeah.
And I'm like, see ya. And I don't see him for a couple hours. And then it's like, okay, wrap it up. And
like, Em just runs around and, like, her older cousin, like, her immediate cousins.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law's kids, they are so protective over her and they love to play with her so much. And she loves them, too. They just take care of her.
Oh, yeah.
And there's always like an adult watching, or playing with the kids.
Yeah.
But then it's nice because there's like that separation of rooms where the adults can play cards or have a conversation, and the kids are so entertained that you can actually have that conversation.
Yeah. And then the hardest part's wrangling them.
Yes.
It's like herding cats.
Yes.
But we get it done. That's awesome. I'm pretty excited. So hopefully we get those on the books and get to going and stuff like that. What do you have for us today?
This one is state local.
Ooh, state local.
And it's probably about, I think it's like 2 hours from where we live.
That's not bad.
But I actually have an uncle that lives there.
Oh. Like, hey, did you know about this?
It is not him. Although I wouldn't put it past my aunt, like, to kill somebody, honestly, the way that she is.
Given your topic, in general, I'm hoping it's not him.
No.
It's probably not going to end well.
No. None of these stories will be about my personal family. Well, yeah.
On the other hand, some of mine will be
yeah.
in the future. Actually, getting another one on the books. Pretty excited about it.
Yeah, you've already done that whole everything that goes bump in the night in my house.
Just in case you weren't spooked already, we're going to make it happen.
It's funny because, like, it was actually just a couple weeks ago after we had done that podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And I came home and it was dark out and my husband wasn't home. And I'm like, I got to wrangle 2 children into the house in the dark. So I don't let Em walk to the house in the dark. I'll carry her in.
Yeah.
Whereas if we're coming home from daycare, she just walks herself in. And so I have to carry both of them. And I got the eeriest feeling.
Oh,
and so I called my mom and I was on the phone with my mom until I got in the house. But it was kind of valid in the dark.
Yeah.
And this truck drives by and it honks at me. And
That's weird.
And I didn't recognize the truck to be like someone that would honk driving past my house. Someone yelled something out their window. And so I'm like, fuck. Gotta get in the house before
hurry the fuck up, lock the doors, lock the windows, get the dog in.
So I called my mom and was like, I'm going to be on the phone with you till I get these kids in the house and I get my door locked.
Yeah. Oh, Nope.
Yeah. So anyways, so this one is from Crawfordsville, Indiana.
Oh, yeah, I know this place.
That happens. Like, I know a lot of the core things in the state that's kind of spooky spook.
I found a site last night and was going through, and there was actually some that were somewhat close that I wasn't aware of. Like, I'm talking Cloverdale, Greencastle, and I was just like, hey, this could work. Okay. Granted, they're usually, closed, what is it? They're only open dawn to dusk, so I'm not really sure how to do that without getting arrested.
Yeah.
But we could figure it out.
All right. Are you ready for this?
Let's do it.
Okay, so August 20th of 2020 in Crawfordsville, Indiana, 2 passerbys found a headless body hanging off of Sugar Creek Bridge.
Jesus.
Yeah.
Okay, 1, recent. 2, what the fuck?
So they call 911 and A lot of this I saw, like, I heard the 911 call. A lot of my information for this specifically came from a police interview with the suspect.
Oh, nice.
So the 911 call, one woman calls and she's like, I found a body. And the other lady's like, no, it's just a deer. And then she's like, no, go look at it.
That's
and
the weirdest looking deer I've ever seen.
She's like, no, go look at it. And then you hear the other lady come back and she goes, yeah, that looks like an arm.
Oh my God.
So the way this body was positioned on the bridge, so it wasn't like hanging over the guardrail.
Uh-huh.
It was stuffed under the guardrail.
Okay.
Like it maybe was meant to be like thrown into the creek, but maybe someone rolled up on the suspect or something. So it was on that ledge between guardrail and river.
Okay. That makes sense. I can see that being a little bit more, I better get a closer look to identify what it is versus it just like hunched over the railing and then being like, like a drunk barfing in an alley.
Yeah.
And being like, it's a deer. That would be kind of stupid, but that makes more sense.
Yeah. So she's like, no, go look at it. And the other lady comes back. She's like, oh yeah, that looks like an arm.
Jesus.
While this 911 call is going on, Michael Parks was reporting his wife, Hope, missing. And he said that she was missing as of August 18th.
So 2 days. Okay.
So he said he had been calling her phone and that she wouldn't answer. So he then went on to describe tattoos to the police, which included a heart with his name in it.
Oh, that doesn't scream controlling bastard or anything.
Hey, my husband has my name tattooed on him, and I did not make him do that.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
So that's my number one rule is I will never tattoo any man's name on me unless it is H-Man.
Yeah. Well, I have my kids' names tattooed on me.
Oh, I've got, so he's, actually now that I think about it, his name's not on me, but I have his footprints from his birth certificate on me. But I don't think I could ever, so my dad had a heart with wife number 1. Then marked out wife number 1 and put wife number 2. Then marked out wife number 2, or I just somewhere my mom is in there, and then marked it out. And then it's like another one. It's like he's got like a hit list or something like on his arm. And to me, that just screams white trash.
His arm is like, never mind.
Yeah, it's like, well, here's my hit list here. Here's my
like
history.
Legit, just like X's like marked him out.
They were just marked out with another name on it. And I'm like, what are you doing?
Because obviously I've never met your dad.
Yeah, thank God. You should be thrilled about that.
So like these bits of information are always kind of funny to me.
Yeah, it's just, it's bad. So I just always said I would never put anyone's name on me because I'm also a pessimist and I'm always thinking something, could happen or whatever. And I don't want to deal with that because 1, like it'd be really hard to cover it up. Yeah. And 2, if I wanted to get it removed, it's painful and expensive. So
my tattoos are my kids' birth flower with their name in the stem.
That's cute though.
So after I got that, my husband went and he got their birth flowers with their names in like the middle of them, and they're like they're on his chest. Yeah. And it kind of coincides. So his dad has like peony bushes up right next to his house, and whenever they're in full falling over because the blooms are so big, Ben will go and cut some for me and bring them down to me.
Aw, that's nice.
Yeah. So it's kind of like a dual like meaning. And so I was like, what happens if we get a divorce? And he goes, if we get a divorce, it's your fault. So
I mean, technically, it is the kids and you're the mom. So I guess it still makes sense even if something does happen or something.
We kind of we've had discussions about like how there are very certain things, like there are very specific things that will cause us to get a divorce, but anything else besides that one specific thing, it can be fixed. Yeah. And like divorce isn't an option for us. We had that discussion before we got married.
I'm horrible. I'm just like, dude, it's a piece of paper and I'm out. I've been there, done that, super easy. Just saying, just a little paperwork, a little bit of administrative work and you're out of there. But
my mom even tried to convince him to not get my name on him.
Yeah, it's just, I think my mom would be the same way. I mean, I have a lot of tattoos anyway, and one of the things I tell people, I have tattoos everywhere, so I'm like, unless you chop off my left arm, I mean, you could totally disassemble my body, but as long as you don't just find the left arm, you'll know who I am because there's tattoos everywhere. Even if you found my head and you couldn't figure out who I was, like I've got a tattoo behind my ear.
Yeah.
It's like I can be identified because I have so many tattoos.
Maybe I need to take that approach. I need more tattoos.
See? Yeah, I do too. So please donate to our Patreon and we will work on that.
I want to get the podcast brand on my ass cheek.
So I actually...
And then they're like, oh, makes sense.
Disclaimer. So one of the thoughts that I had at one point was, at some point, I wanted to do a thing where not only can you sign up for our Patreon for donations and that kind of thing, I actually have a PayPal on the website that people can donate for. And I thought about doing a thing where, you know, if we donate enough in there, like I will go get our emblem tattooed on my body somewhere. And I'll post a picture, which means that it'll have to be somewhere that's at least PG-13 rated. And make that happen, because I just think that'd be hilarious and it'd be awesome, you know, and the podcast is part of me now. And so I think it'd be really awesome to have it on there. So maybe in the future we'll work on that.
So anyways.
Yeah, sorry.
The police told him to come to the station because they had actually found a headless body that morning that matched Hope's description.
That's some interesting timing.
So, during an interview with the police, Michael stated that he and his wife had been arguing over their son lately.
Ruh-roh. That's always a bad topic.
I guess their son was into drugs at the time, and that his son brought drugs into the house, so Michael kicked him out and didn't want him staying there.
Makes sense. I'd do the same.
Hope wanted him to be able to stay at the house.
Pushover, okay, enabler. Mm-hmm.
He then told Hope to choose between him and the son.
Been there.
It's me or him, bitch.
So, been there. Hence my second husband and I are divorced.
Yeah.
Because I was tired of forking money over to people who didn't appreciate us. And I couldn't explain to him that he was not a human ATM. So I gave up because I was not about to sit there and have all of our money go to people that didn't appreciate it and would not work to support themselves.
Yeah.
As adults. And make horrible decisions.
Michael admitted to the police that he had anger issues.
Oh, jeez.
And that he takes meds for it.
Okay, well, same.
He admits to wanting to hurt his son, and that's why he couldn't let him stay at the house.
Okay. At least he's being honest.
I'm going to hurt him if he stays here. He needs to not stay here, right?
I think it's good that he's being honest. And, I mean, also, it's not, you know, I'm going to hurt my wife. I'm going to hurt the son, and the wife is missing. So I can see where this could not be as bad, maybe.
In this police interview, he seems to be painting his wife as a controlling and toxic person.
Convenient.
He told the police that during an argument, his wife threw her wedding ring and her keys at him and got into a white or silver Honda. I'm out, bitch. And then apparently had someone on standby ready to pick her up.
Yeah, that seems a little odd. That somebody's just
rolls up as conveniently as she throws her keys and wedding ring at him.
Exactly. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Just
That's what I thought too.
Ooh.
The police got consent from Michael to search his house.
Okay.
And what they would find at the property would only raise more questions about Hope's disappearance.
Mm-hmm.
When asked if she had anyone that would want to hurt her, Michael answers no, but follows it up with, quote, she knows how to piss people off.
Okay, I feel like that's not a good answer.
Yeah. The police confronts Michael about finding blood at his house, and he responds that he had cut himself.
At least it wasn't, she was on her period. That seems to be the go-to for, you know, husbands. She was on her period. That's why there's blood all over my house. Like, she's walking around like
free bleeding, no underwear, like nothing.
It's the 1700s, and you know she's just walking around with a washcloth between her legs or something, sitting on a bucket for a week because she can't get up.
So this is gonna be gross, but just because you brought it up, I watched this video where this girl who power lifts, while she was powerlifting, her Diva cup broke.
Well, so I watched one and they were like peeing all over themselves.
Oh, no.
I've seen multiple like that where they lift it and then they just start peeing everywhere.
Like, she was in the middle of the lift and just threw it down, walked away, and her boyfriend's like, what the fuck's going on? And, like, so they ended up cleaning her up, got her into different pants, and was able to complete her workout.
So, well, my thing here is I would have panicked.
Oh, yeah.
Only because I'm thinking, if you're pushing yourself to the limit and you are lifting something from a squatting position, I have heard horror stories of you lift and your insides become your outsides.
Yeah.
And that's what I would be afraid of if I saw, like, all of a sudden just a massacre in your britches. I'd be like, oh my God, are those your intestines? What the fuck?
Well, she, like, felt it break.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Ugh.
So anyways, sorry. He said that the blood found in his garage was from when he cut his finger.
Wow.
Like,
It's
I nicked
been one
my
hell of a
finger.
cut.
Yeah. I don't. Yeah.
I mean, unless it's one of those damn onion slicers. I've seen what it can do to a finger. Bless his heart. Clark was bleeding all over the fucking place. I was like, what the hell's happening?
The police then tells Michael that he believes that Michael did something to Hope, and he just, like, shrugs it off. Like, it's nothing. That he was just accused of murdering his wife.
He didn't even defend himself? Or get worked up or anything?
Just, meh.
Huh. He's like, okay, here we go.
So after this, the cop then drops the bomb.
Ooh.
He is vague at first and just tells Michael that they found, quote, everything.
Okay. I hate when they use traps.
Michael then asks what everything was.
Because that doesn't scream, I'm guilty.
Like, what do you mean, everything?
Did you find the head that I hid in the closet?
We'll get to that.
I have no idea where the head's at, but I'm assuming it's a closet.
The cop then replies with, quote, the rest of her head in the basement.
Oh, I was close.
He barely gave any reaction to finding out that these cops found his wife's head in his basement.
What?
Guilty.
Oh my! Like no reaction
Like
at all.
like there was nothing.
Well, maybe. Maybe I don't know. If you were in shock, would you not respond well?
I mean, you would at least give a, oh my god, like, right? Like an oh my gosh.
Yeah.
What?
The fuck?
Like what? Yeah. No.
But
nothing.
Prove it. Show me. Show me.
Nothing.
Oh my god. Okay. Ugh.
But the head isn't all they found.
What? Well, if the rest of her was on the bridge, what else is down there?
They found blood everywhere.
Oh.
The
Cut myself with a
garage,
finger.
the gravel in the driveway, in the grass beside the patio, on the ramp to the patio. They found a bloody footprint in the garage.
I'm sorry. I wish I could see my face right now. A little confused. Because that is a lot of places to have blood. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
I mean, how does that even happen? I mean, you'd have to, like, chop the head off and then, like, sling it around or drag it around like a sack of potatoes. I mean, how would you get blood everywhere?
I'm not 100%.
Especially with it ending. Well, okay, hold on. The head's in the basement. So it started in the basement.
No.
It didn't?
I will get into that.
Okay.
So we'll dive a little bit deeper here.
I'm just trying to picture this trail and how the hell you spray blood all over the place.
So they found a .22 shell casing in the yard next to the patio.
Oh. Okay.
The police also found blood on the steps down to the basement.
Okay.
As well as drag marks in the dirt of the basement floor.
Okay.
So this basement is like, it's more of a cellar.
So kind of like mine.
Where like the floor is like dirt. It's not like concrete.
Dirt, but yeah. Okay. I've seen these in movies.
Yeah. So they also found large bloody zip ties and some torn plastic down in the basement. And Hope's head had been wrapped in plastic bags and barely buried in the basement and had been covered with flex ducts.
That's just the poor thinking here. Like there's no precautionary, I don't want to make a mess.
And I will say this too. His excuse for the 22 shell casing was that he was trying to shoot a groundhog that had been in his yard.
Oh, okay. I've been there.
And
hell, my mother has been there.
And it ran off before he was able to shoot it.
Oh,
well, my mom's into that later.
My mom's more of a man than he is. Yeah, she got the fucker.
Yeah, I'll get into more of that later, but I just wanted to give you that little tidbit first. You remember how I said that he had been trying to call his wife?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, where's the phone?
The phone was in the safe in the home.
Like, what? I mean, why would you put a phone in a safe?
To hide it.
But you know what I mean? Like, if you're trying to make a believable story, you know,
like you chuck it off the bridge with the body.
Yes.
Yeah. Not very smart.
Or out the window on the way to the bridge.
Yep. Mm-hmm. So, Michael, with all of this being circumstantial evidence, he kept denying it, obviously.
Oh my God. Circumstantial my ass.
He told the cops that they should talk to his son.
Okay, I can understand that.
But, like, also think about it. The mom's the one that wanted the son to be able to stay at home.
But the son was jacked up on drugs.
That's true.
And could possibly not be thinking clearly. I mean, I can see that perspective of, you know, he comes home, he's high.
Yeah.
And the mom, he might have a conversation with the mom, and the mom's like, you know, hey, dad says you can't stay here, blah, 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 blah. Things escalate, and he loses his shit.
So, the cop was obviously not buying any of this bullshit that he was trying to lay down.
That smells good.
And he asked for a lawyer.
Good move.
And he is then placed in handcuffs and is taken to a holding cell.
Oh, jeez.
Over the next few days, the cops follow up on looking at the house and cars and such. 4 days after he was taken into custody, Michael tells the cops that he wants to talk without a lawyer. And then he proceeds to say that they were arguing and he was on the back porch after everyone left. He was on the back porch after everyone left, and he grabbed the gun to shoot a groundhog, but it had left before he had the chance to, so he shot the gun into a tree 3 times.
Por qué?
Just out of anger that he missed the groundhog. Like, he didn't get to shoot the groundhog. He's just like,
Oh,
fuck it. Boo, 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 right? Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm not sure the logic there, but all right.
And that's why the 22 shell casing was outside.
Not 3 of them?
I think they only found one.
I would just assume that, like, if you're standing in one spot shooting.
Maybe the other 2 casings ended up on the patio and he, like, picked them up.
Oh, maybe. Okay.
So he went into the house then to clean the gun.
Oh, Jesus. Here we go.
And Hope was cooking dinner.
Okay. I see where this is going. Only because, like, in my head, I'm picturing my sister's house. And the way the kitchen and the dining room table set up, I can see, because the table is pointing the direction of the kitchen, so I can see the setup in my mind of how this could possibly be going bad fast.
He says that the gun discharged in the house and it shot her.
Of course.
He said he cleaned everything up and everything else was just a blur. But I'm sorry. If it's truly an accident.
Did he call for help?
No. That's what I was saying. If I accidentally shoot somebody, I'm calling for fucking help.
Yeah. It's all a blur and somehow she lost her head. Oh my God, that sounded horrible. like she's got an attitude problem. She lost her head. Oh, Jesus.
Also, we are in a family that is very hunt heavy, gun heavy.
Yes. We know you do not point the gun.
Yes, you do not point the gun at anything you do not intend to kill or shoot.
Even if it's not loaded, you do not point it.
You do not point that gun in any direction of anything that you do not intend to shoot and or kill.
And eat.
Yeah. Yes.
You shoot to kill, you kill to eat. Well, actually, it's you aim to shoot, you shoot to kill, you kill to eat.
Unless it's target practice. But
yeah.
It's if God forbid something ever happened and I accidentally shoot somebody, my first instinct is not, oh shit, I gotta clean this up. My first instinct is, oh shit, I gotta call for help.
I'm over here going, I'm not gonna lie. I might go, oh shit, I better stop this blood from going everywhere. And then I'll call for help.
That is helping in its own way, though.
Yeah.
Like, if you're stopping the bleeding, you're helping the person stay alive.
Oh, I was talking about, like, the mess on the floor.
Oh.
So it doesn't, leak under the oven and start stinking in a couple days. But, God, I am horrible.
But no, like, you might be doing that, but you're going to be on the phone with 911.
True.
No.
Actually, knowing me, it'd be like, pow, and then I'd be like, oh my God, where's my phone? I can't find my phone.
Yeah, right.
Hey, Siri, call 911. Oh, don't call 911, Siri. Oh, shit.
You triggered mine, too.
We almost had an incident. Sorry. Just kidding, Siri. Just kidding.
Wait, you triggered my Siri.
Whew. Well,
But anyways. He then says that he wrapped her in a tarp and took her to the basement so he could clean everything up.
Okay.
They then informed him that the bullet wound had gunshot residue around the wound, meaning that it was a close shot. Like, not I'm at the dining room table, you're 40 feet away at the stove.
I mean, it's got to be, usually, depending on the gunshot residue, it's got to be, 1 to 4 inches away from the intended hole?
Oh, I get more into that.
Oh, okay. But, okay.
So,
if he accidentally shoots her in the kitchen.
Yeah, but he's
wraps her in a tarp.
He is at the table.
But what I'm saying is he wraps her in a tarp and takes her to the basement.
Yes.
Then how the fuck is the blood everywhere else? See what I'm saying?
Here's my theory on that. You got to get the body out somehow. And all the blood's not going to be drained out of that body.
But it quits pumping once the heart stops.
But like, if I'm dragging a body...
Unless you're in the tarp and then the tarp's leaking.
That. Or, like, gravity. If you're holding this body at an angle...
Yeah, okay.
Even though it's not pumping, the body, like, the blood is still draining out of the body.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, just out of curiosity, when they found the body, was it clothed? Or was she naked?
I'm pretty sure she was clothed.
Okay, so just reverting back to the cell phone thing, why not put the phone in her pocket?
I don't know.
Okay, just saying.
Because he's fucking dumb.
For all those out here planning something, the pocket's a good place.
So after the cop told him about the GSR, he starts to panic a little bit. And he tried to tell them that he didn't know how close it was.
Okay, if I'm 5 feet from someone or I am like right up on them, I would know.
He's just trying to cover his ass at this point. The cops then confront him with not only that was their GSR, but it was more likely a contact wound.
Oh, shitballs. I
don't know how close I was, but the gun was right up to her head.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and then did they ever find his clothing? Because he'd have to he'd have blood and probably. Did it say where she was shot? Was she shot like in the back, or was she shot like in the head or arm? Or
she was shot in the head.
Okay, so then there'd be probably some brain remnants like on his clothing, right?
Yes.
Okay. I wonder what happened to those.
I have no idea. That was not part of it.
Oh my God. Well, I'll see if you get to it. I'll see if you get to it before I ask.
Okay. They say it's a contact wound.
Okay.
He then tried stalling by asking for water. He's like, can I get water now? I need water.
I'm choking on my own lies.
Yeah.
Can I get some water?
But in the end, that doesn't work. Like, they get him the water, but, like, it didn't stall anything.
Well, yeah, I mean, what's it going to do? I mean, they've pretty much got everything on him, aside from him saying, I did it.
So he keeps saying that she must have been closer than what he thought.
You think?
He didn't put the gun to the back of her head.
Then how the fuck did it get there? Huh, Tonto?
Yeah. Then all of a sudden, we get talk of some kind of hamburger getting knocked to the ground and off the stove. So I'm assuming what she was making for dinner was
Oh my god.
hamburgers.
Oh my god. I'm having brain matter burgers in my head. Like, CSI, you need to come in here, collect all of it. We don't know what's brain and what's burger. Like, oh my god.
So
I do not want burgers like ever again.
So this seems like a stupid thing, but what I think they're trying to insinuate is that there was a struggle. And then,
Okay.
Burger gets knocked to the ground.
Well, I mean, maybe she was just in mid-flip when it was like kapowie, and maybe you
Caught
jerk
it.
maybe you jerk or something, and it just flops on. They clearly didn't have a dog, or there sure as hell wouldn't be no burger on the ground, I can tell you that. It
Yeah.
wouldn't last 3 seconds on the ground in my house.
So then the cops just go for the jugular, right? And they ask him about cutting off his wife's head.
Okay.
But he just keeps saying that he can't remember how anything happened and that he didn't shoot Hope on purpose. He keeps saying that the shooting, quote, just happened. Which pisses me off. Just nut up and admit that you killed your fucking wife.
Yeah. Although I am really
like,
confused.
It's obvious that they know that you killed your fucking wife.
I mean, I just have questions. So, if the child, man-child, I'm assuming they're a grown man, right? If they're able to kick him out, he's probably not a minor, right?
Right.
So, if your beef is with the kid, why is the mom dead? You see what I'm saying?
I think it's because she was sticking up for him. Like, because they were arguing.
Was this just like some sort of displacement and maybe his anger towards the kid, he pointed at the wife? Maybe the wife was threatening to leave him so that she could care for the kid?
It could have been.
I mean, I could see that being a thing.
Yeah.
But still, it was an accident. I accidentally put my gun to the back of my wife's head and pulled the trigger while she was flipping a poor fucking burger.
And drug her to the basement and cut off her head.
Yeah. Oh my god, what did he cut it off with? Did they find like a saw or a hatchet or something?
It was not stated. But I'm thinking that with the blood trail in the garage, he might have went in there to get something.
Yeah, I'm just thinking, I mean, he was in the kitchen already.
Yeah.
So maybe he got a knife of some sort. That is so... I didn't mean to do it.
He does admit that they were still arguing at the time. And that at the time that the shooting occurred. He says that his son is the reason that he pulled the trigger, not intentionally, quote, not intentionally.
What?
And after 4 hours, they end his interview.
The son's the reason he pulled the trigger on accident.
Yeah.
I have no idea what that means.
This is like the shit that like this guy thinks he's going to get away with murder with.
Well, clearly he's not thinking properly.
So he sat in jail for 2 years after this. And while he was in jail, the police found searches on bottle silencers and if a pillow would silence a gunshot on his devices.
Did they find any evidence that might have supported that he used something as a silencer?
No, but it was also like middle of the day and no neighbors heard anything. It was just the fact that he was looking up these things makes it seem this is not a random
heat of the moment type of thing.
Yes.
Yeah, got it.
It is most definitely premeditated.
This guy's an idiot.
Yeah. 3 days before he was due to stand trial for murder, he changed his plea from not guilty to guilty on a plea deal, and he was sentenced to 50 years. And he will be 94 years old if released.
Good.
Yeah.
Although usually the sentences aren't that bad, so I'm surprised.
Especially on plea deals like that.
Well, I think it probably has to do with hacking off her head.
Yeah.
And if you're going to hack off someone's head, at least hide it a little better.
Yeah.
But I'm wondering... No, she got shot in the head, so that's impossible. Just kidding.
Not like shallowly burying it in your cellar basement thing.
Yeah. I mean, because obviously you're gonna be able to see that the ground has been disturbed recently, and it's kind of just like a beacon.
Well, I think what happened was, so he shallowly buries the head in the basement, and then he covered it with all that flex duct.
Yeah.
And I saw a picture of it, the flex duct and stuff that they had seen, like it was like a crime scene photo, and there was a lot of flex duct. And so I think...
Oh, he's probably thinking like, oh, no one's going to go through that.
Well, and it covers up any disturbed area with all of that. It just looks It just looks like a pile of flex duct. You wouldn't see disturbed ground underneath it all.
I'll at least give him that. But he's still an idiot.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
I accidentally blew her brains out.
You did all this cleanup, yet you didn't take the time to clean any of the blood on the basement stairs, which would immediately lead them to look in the basement.
Yeah. Or outside.
Yeah. So I'm thinking that, like I said, all of the blood outside, like patio ramp, yard, garage, was him moving the body into whatever vehicle he used to dispose of the body on the bridge.
Well, unless I'm wondering, like, if it isn't like the patio and stuff, if the patio and everything was like wood.
Yeah.
Maybe the stairs to the cellar the stairs to my cellar or my basement they're wood.
And it might have just soaked in and stained.
So it might have just stained it, and maybe he couldn't get it out.
Yeah, that's true. My question is...
In which case, I'd be building a new staircase.
What I want to know is, how long was the body there?
I'd say at least 2 days.
Well, did he keep the body at the house to cut off her head for 2 days and then disposed of it that morning? And then went and reported her missing as this person was calling in her body?
Yeah, like my assumption would be he dumped it the day they found her.
Yeah. That's what I was thinking too. So he kept her body in the house for 2 days.
Yeah. That's just fucked.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I mean, you're worried about your son doing drugs, but you're out here doing fucking murder.
Yeah. There's no evidence that points to anything other than he did it.
Yeah.
So, wow.
Yeah. All right.
But needless to say, we got a murder. And we got a whodunit.
And we got a conviction out of it.
And we did.
There's a lot of my stories that don't end in conviction.
Celebrate. We got that bastard. You're going down. Or, well, you already went down, I guess.
Yeah.
But I guess.
On to the inner bitchin'.
Yeah, let's do it.
Whoop, whoop. See ya.
Welcome to this week's Inner Bitchin'. Today's topic is popular wedding songs. Number 1.
Love of My Life by Harry Styles.
Number 2.
Nervous by John Legend.
Number 3.
Thank God by Kane Brown.
And number 4.
Sweet Nothing by Taylor Swift.
And welcome back from the inner bitchin'. So, what do you have for us today, Natasha?
So, I know it's been a while since I've been in my comfort zone, because my favorite thing is cryptids. Those are the ones that I like to cover the most. But, we've switched it up. We've had some spooky stuff and some random stuff and stuff like that. So, it was good. But I'm going to get back to my roots here, and we're going to hit up a cryptid, and let's see if you can guess what it is before I get to it.
Okay.
So this cryptid was first reported in 1995 in Puerto Rico and has since been reported pretty much everywhere from Maine to Chile, Russia, Mexico, and the Philippines. There have been over 2,000 sightings reported, and the name literally means goat sucker. Any ideas?
No.
So the name stems from the beast's reported vampirism focused towards livestock and goats. And this, dear Kristen, is El Chupacabra.
Okay. Yep.
Yeah.
Sorry. Whenever you said goat sucker, all I could think about is I know
oh my
that
god,
we have,
the Goat Man episode.
we have some listeners that know me and know where I work at, and they work at that same place. And I have been informed that they cannot forget the Goat Man episode.
Well, we
And
like
all
to
I-
leave a mark.
All I could say was, if you like that, check out our Patreon.
Oh yeah, it's way better. Like totally hit it up.
Yeah, I'm just like, sorry for your ears.
Yeah, so this one, I mean, it's been on my list since, but yeah, this one I've been looking forward to. You know, it's been on there, and I just finally went for it. So, oh yeah, it's actually been described in multiple ways. Like depending on where it is, you'll hear different descriptions of it. So in Puerto Rico and Latin America, it's said to be reptilian and kind of alien-like, heavy creature about the size of a small bear, sporting a row of sharp spines or quills, reaching from the neck to the base of the tail.
I'm kind of picturing, like, lizard porcupine.
Yeah. Oh my god, what is it with me and porcupine things? We have the puckwudgie too.
Oh, I forgot about the puckwudgie. Was that on here?
Yeah, it's on here.
Okay.
That
I
one
couldn't remember if that was regular feed or Patreon.
Yep, that one was regular.
Puckwudgie.
I just love saying their name. So they are also said to have a leathery, greenish-gray, scaly skin, and typically are about 3 to 4 feet or 0.9 to 1.2 meters tall. It's also said that they sometimes have glowing red eyes, and that's, you know, the basic description for the one side is lizard with red eyes and spiky and 3 to 4 feet tall. Which, ew. I would not want to deal with one of those.
Yeah, no thanks.
The southwestern United States describes him as more of a dog-like creature.
See, because whenever you first said it, like, for some reason in my mind, I got, like, a fuzzy animal-looking thing in my mind.
Yeah. But
Like-
that's what we're used to.
Yeah.
And, you know, rumor has it that it stands and hops like a kangaroo up to 20 feet or 6 meters and has a set of large fangs. They say it's kind of similar to a bald wolf-like beast. So think wolf mixed with that ugly-ass cat that has no hair.
A sphinx cat?
I don't know. That wrinkly, looks like a wrinkly ball sack. That
I've-
one?
I've always wanted to pet one of those.
Ew, not me. If I want to do that, I just stick my hand in my husband's pants. It's also been reported that it has a snake-like tongue and leaves a stench that's similar to sulfur. Oh my god, you and the tongue thing.
I was just, yeah.
But my thing is, like, so supposedly it emits a sulfur smell, and I'm just going to go out on a limb and say, you know, what is known for sulfur smells? Do you know?
Rotten eggs.
Besides rotten eggs and farts.
Ghosts.
Daemons.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe they're like jacked up hellhounds or something.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Maybe they went into hell and it singed all their fur off.
See, for your section of the podcast, I have to, like, dive deep into my, like, supernatural watching days.
Oh my god, I love that show.
But yeah, so speaking of the sulfur smell, maybe I have a demon in my washer.
Oh, that's just your well water.
Yeah, so if it
I've been there.
if it rains
Oh yeah.
super hard,
Yeah.
or you use a lot
A
of
lot of
water,
water.
in a day, it just reeks.
Yep.
Throughout the whole house. It just comes up through my washer.
It has been like that since the dawn of time.
I'm
Or at
glad
least
I'm
since
not
I
the
was,
only one that it happens to.
yeah, at least since I was there, it used to do it all the time.
Yeah, so we just like shut the bathroom door and turn on the fan.
Yeah, it gets pretty gnarly. Some witnesses have reported that the monster will hiss and screech when it's startled, and that after they saw it, they were nauseous, which maybe that's with the smell or something. But it's weird to me that you have Latin Americas and all that are very reptilian, scaly, spikes, quills, and that kind of thing. But then you come up to like North America, and all of a sudden it's a hairless dog wolf thing with big fangs. To me, those don't even sound like it should be the same species of creature, right?
Maybe it just adapts to like its area that it's in to like try and blend in a little bit though.
But I just feel like they're so different that it's not like you're comparing Gus to a wolf. You know what I mean? It's like a goldfish to a bird. Like they're not even remotely close.
Maybe they all started out as like looking like one certain thing, and then as they spread out, they evolved to match their area that they live in.
Maybe, but they're so different. It's hard for me to wrap my mind around that. Although I did. Did you know?
Did you know?
Sorry for those of you who were not part of our conversation before we started recording.
Oh, you mean like everybody?
Yeah, right. So I think, what was it I heard? That there's a type of whale that actually came from a deer-like creature.
Sorry, I had to do my whale noise.
Okay. But yeah, so it used to be like a deer-ish creature and is now a whale. So I guess anything's possible. The initial attack that was blamed on chupacabras was March of 1995. A farmer found 8 of his sheep completely exsanguinated. I can't say that word very well. Sorry. With 3 puncture wounds around the chest area. Which I thought was interesting that there's 3 puncture wounds.
3 puncture wounds
Oh my
and
gosh.
only 2 fangs.
I'm seeing like 2 big tusks, like, Siberian tiger, with one goofy ass tooth in the middle,
You said tusk, and all I could think of was a walrus.
I was gonna do it, but I stopped myself. Whew. That I was going to, but I was like, nope, I'm not doing that to people.
We're doing all of the animal sounds today.
Oh yeah,
my
welcome
gosh.
to the zoo with
Yeah.
Kristen and Natasha.
Yeah, you said tusks. I didn't go elephants. I went straight up walrus.
We need the sound of the lever. The cow says moo. So a few months after the initial attack, Madeline, oh my goodness, Tolentino witnessed a creature in a town that reported up to 150 farm animals and pets that were just slaughtered. In the fall and winter of 2018, there was an uptick in chupacabra reports in and around Manipur, India, which I thought was interesting. There were tons of mysterious murders of domestic animals and poultry. So I guess they're keeping it to small game. On the other hand, forensic experts had decided that the attacks were caused by stray dogs after studying the remains of the attacked animals. So there was even supposedly a video in 2019 revealing the results of what was said to be an attack on some chickens.
Sorry.
Oh my gosh, what was it whenever I was on CKCB? Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to shout out those guys to figure out what it was, but it's like Takak or something. It was somebody's last name. And so then they kept going, Takak! Check it out. It's episode 69.
Why are chickens so funny?
I don't know.
Because.
Oh my gosh. Oh, Jesus. An unnamed witness from the city of, oh goodness, Caguas? I guess Caguas? Caguas?
Cagoos.
Cagoos? Something along those lines. Sorry.
Cagus.
Someone's going to at me. It's okay.
like haggis. Haggis.
Oh, sure. But they ended up getting pretty much a scare of their life. So they described the beast as having a huge set of bright red eyes and hairy arms, which I thought was interesting. And supposedly it broke in through a bedroom window, destroyed a stuffed teddy bear, dropped a piece of meat with a puddle of slime, and then disappeared.
Fuck yo, teddy bear.
So when I'm wondering, this thing breaks in through like a window, eats a teddy bear, drops a piece of meat with some goo, and then just bolts. That doesn't make any sense. But
no, it doesn't at all.
maybe it's just some... And it had hairy arms.
What did it have against that teddy bear? Ooh, maybe you thought it was real. Like it was like a real animal and it tried to eat it.
Maybe it's just like a little puppy and he just wanted to play. Because let me tell you, our dogs destroy anything stuffed.
Yeah.
Anything.
Jarvis I used to get him like those like cheaper dog beds whenever he was
Yep.
traded.
We can't have those. They get destroyed.
Yeah, he would. It's not that he would just tear them up.
Oh, no. Ours would chew a hole in the corner and then for whatever reason, they would just get the hole and then they'd rip all of the stuffing out through this one hole and then drag the empty carcass of a bed around the house and just run around with it. I don't know what their problem was, but thankfully we have not had any humping problems thus far.
Well, Jarvis is intact.
That's outrageous.
Yeah.
All right, so Benjamin Radford investigated and was very skeptical about the whole ordeal that Madeline reported. And one conclusion that he made was that the Chupacabra she reported sounded like it was a monster from a sci-fi horror movie called Species that came out like right before she made the claim. And supposedly she had seen it already before she made the claim. So it very well could have been based off of her seeing that movie.
Yeah. When was this?
Let's see here. Hers was, where are you, Madeline? 1995.
Okay. So not
super recent, but not super old either.
Yeah.
His view was that the most important description of the Chupacabra can no longer be trusted since it's probably tainted by the movie. So he's already saying, like, I can't take into account what this lady said she saw because she already saw that movie and it's gonna, mess up her description.
Yeah, like, she saw the movie, saw something, and she's like, that's what it was.
Yeah, exactly. And he ended up putting the reports into two major categories. One was the Puerto Rico and Latin America reports that stated the animals being drained of blood. And the other was the reports in the U.S. of creatures that he concluded were mainly wild dogs and coyotes that had mange to explain their hairless, awkward appearance. Which could make sense.
Yeah, I was going to say, that kind of makes sense.
Yeah. I've seen some of the pictures, supposedly, and I'm not sure. But Dr. David Morales, a Puerto Rican veterinarian, inspected 300 supposed victims of the monster and concluded that they had not been blood dry at all. So they were claiming that they had all their blood drained and all that stuff, but when the veterinarian looked at him, he was like, that's actually not the case. I guess they still got blood in the tank. So
maybe it just wasn't that hungry.
But 300 of them?
Okay.
Then wanted a bunch of snacks?
All the snacky snacks. I don't know. My kid never finishes a snack.
They're just tasting it to see if they like it. They got to find the right one. Damn it, this one's so positive. In October of 2010, Barry O'Connor from the University of Michigan also concluded that the U.S. reports were just coyotes infected with a parasite, and this is going to be rough. It's called Sarcoptes scabii? Scabby? It's Scabiei.
Scabby eye.
Sure. Something with a scab. The symptoms of this parasite are that it'll leave the animal with little hair, thickened skin, and a largely unpleasant odor. Does that sound familiar? to the description that I gave? Yeah, like pretty on the head, right? Due to the weakness this disease causes, the animals would have to resort to hunting domestic and confined prey since they're easy to get to, which would also explain why all these reports were of domesticated animals and chickens, basically.
And like livestock.
Yeah, that are, limited to their roaming space, and they're basically fish in a barrel.
Pew pew.
Yeah, so, I mean, that kind of makes sense. However, there have been tracks found at the scene of these reports, and it is said that zoologists could not identify any animal currently known to make those prints. So
they have like a distinct print.
Yeah, that nobody's been able to identify yet.
Okay.
Supposedly, there are also dead bodies that provided DNA that does not match anything we currently have on file.
You said dead bodies?
Like, so supposedly there were dead chupacabras that were found, and they took DNA samples, and it doesn't match anything in the records thus far.
So, like
it's an unidentified species of some kind.
So, like, they look like the description that we've been talking about? Yeah. Okay.
The picture that I saw that was in that particular article was not the reptilian one. It was the like a
kangaroo-y one.
Hairless dog.
Okay.
It was black. Like all black. That's what I was saying. Maybe it was a hellhound that got too close to the fire. In 2008, a police officer was able to catch one of these creatures on their cam. And I actually saw the footage of this.
Oh, I want to see the footage of this.
I'll look it up and show it to you once we get done here. But it kind of just looks like a hairless dog. Like, it's just black. Although it's something about it, just doesn't seem right. So maybe it's like deformed or something. But so those are all the options that we have. I mean, that's the skeptical views, that's the scientist views, that's the believers' views. So what are you thinking? I mean, do you think maybe it's a canine with mange, alien-like creature that comes down, total bullshit altogether, or legitimate?
I don't know. Like, I don't think it's an alien.
Yeah, me neither. Although I feel like the alien would explain more of the Latin America descripted type. With the scales and the quills. What does it mean, that word?
Quills.
Quills. The quills. Jesus. And the scaliness. I feel like that would probably lean more towards a quote-unquote alien species or something.
Yeah, I don't think it's an alien. I'm not 100% sold that it's... Like, I'm not going to rule out that it's not a thing altogether. But... I don't know. I feel like it could go between legit and just like a rabid animal.
Yeah. What I'm wondering... like I said, I'm on the fence too. I'm not sure... Because I've not had as much exposure to, the Latin American, version of it. But, and then I haven't been able to find, like, any videos or anything that pertain to that type. But there's been some, videos and all of that for the, North American one. And on one hand, I can see the dog or wolf with mange or, whatever it was. Other than the fact that I don't know how common mange is,
yeah,
to the point where it would be completely hairless. Now, I've seen some that have mange and they have patches of their hair gone, but to have all of it gone and the big fangs. And what got me was the DNA results. So the footprint that they can't identify, and the DNA results.
That's what I'm kind of stuck on as well, is you don't know, like, what this thing is. Like, scientists have said, we don't know this print, we don't know this DNA.
Yeah. Which, on one hand, maybe it is a type of wolf or dog or whatever that has evolved, and there's just not very many of them, so they're not identified, and it's just something that we weren't aware of. We just call it a chupacabra, but it might be, Wolf X or something.
What if it's, like, So I watched this video a while back where this guy started like not wearing shoes. And like he does like a lot of walking in the woods and stuff like that. And like his feet
God, that's
actually
gotta
got
suck.
so his feet actually got tougher and like, his toes and stuff kind of went back to like being able to spread out more for grip and his it was weird to think that the changes in his feet just from like not wearing shoes, which is very much an evolutionary thing for humans to be wearing shoes. And so I guess my mind kind of goes to like, what if it's a wild pack of dogs? Like it's just wild dogs. Their paws have just evolved
Yeah.
differently.
Which it could be. I mean, what I would be interested to know is, I know that they say they can't identify the DNA or the print, but is there anything in the records already that is similar or close to?
Yeah, like what's
like maybe they're cousins or something.
Yeah, like what does the DNA most closely represent?
Yeah. I feel like that would be really interesting. And I did find the video.
Ooh, yay. I was trying to find it, but my computer wouldn't load it.
So.
Look at the video. This is from the sheriff's cruiser. Last Friday, hours before sunset, the two deputies were checking fence lines near
Look
Crowder
at that thing.
when they stumbled across that alleged creature of the night. The kills goats and chickens, sucks the blood out of them. One of the deputies, there it is again, called it hairless with a long snout, short front legs, and long back legs. He said it's about the size of a coyote, but when he froze the video and saw its profile, he knew he was not dealing with a coyote at all. The county sheriff says he is willing to work with credible researchers who want to look at the video and help solve the mystery of the Chupacabra. Again, if you don't know what this animal is supposed to be.
I love his description. The animal that's running around and killing chickens and sucking their blood.
Yeah, when I was thinking of it, I kind of knew what people say they look like.
Yeah.
But I forgot how boxy their head is.
Yeah.
More, you take a kangaroo, but instead of like the dip in the face, it's more like straight out.
Straight out, yeah.
But, and then he said the short front legs and the long back legs. So it literally looks like a mix between like a medium to large dog and a kangaroo.
Yeah, so it's pretty crazy, and, you guys should go look up that video. I literally just searched Chupacabra video police cam, and the link just came right up. So give that a little look-see and let us know what you think, because this one I feel like is one of the ones that has been a little bit more real for me, a little bit more believable than some of the others. So I wanted to make sure that I put something out there, and I mean, who doesn't like Chupacabra? There's even a Scooby-Doo with El Chupacabra, just so you know.
Oh, I need to go look that up.
Oh yeah, it was on. Was it Boomerang? I think it was on the Boomerang app.
Yeah,
and it's on there. So it was interesting. Although I think their Chupacabra was like furry or something. So, but it is what it is. I think.
Because like the ones that one, even though they said that it is somewhat hairless, it still looked a little furry to me.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that's what I got for the Chupacabra, and we'll go ahead and move on to our housekeeping list. Because yes, I have a list, so I don't forget. If you guys want to support us, we have a couple ways that you can do so. We have our Patreon page, where we have 2 tiers that you can have. We got $1, gives you a shout out, which, it's been a little upsetting. I haven't been able to shout anyone out on an episode in a while. So if we could do that, that'd be awesome. You also get early access to episodes. Usually they get released on Saturdays. Then we have a $5 tier, and it's got some absolutely hysterical content on it right now for bonus episodes. You also get early access and a shout out. So that's all on the Patreon page. And those are also accessible through the website. So the website has everything on it. I mean, you got all of our episodes are on there. You can leave reviews on there. You can contact us on there. There's a spot on there, a little microphone button. And if you click on that, you can actually leave us a voicemail on the website. So that's kind of cool. But there's all kinds of stuff. Our social media links are on there. All that stuff's on there. As far as social media, I mean, we have Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, TikTok, Threads. I mean, we're all over the place. So you can find us just about anywhere. One thing that I want to ask again, I mean, something we want to do is potentially if we ever get any feedback and listener stories, we would love to put, one of those maybe like at the end of the episode or something, just to kind of get your guys' stories out there. And we like to hear about them too, because they're fun and spooky and all that stuff. Which it doesn't have to just be spooky. Maybe you have a true crime.
Yeah, like
story.
if you have like if you have a case that you would like covered, and I know I've had a couple people ask me to cover a specific case, and I know that case is going to be heavy.
It's going to be hard. I mean, it's going to be, you're going to have to let me know, by the way, when you do that, because I'm going to have to try to find something that's not very depressing.
Yeah. But I would love to have requests. I mean, honestly, sometimes it's hard to me to just find what to cover, like whether, there's enough information out there, because there is a case that I've been asked to cover, and like there's no information that's like out there about it, and it would be a 2-minute episode for me if I told you about that one. But yeah, I would love to get recommendations or just requests and stuff like that, and we just want to hear from you guys, even if it's just like a hey, I listen, like love you guys, like not even like just to know that you're out there.
You guys suck.
Yeah, I don't even care.
Thanks for messaging us.
Yeah. But also, with that, like you can email us at our email. It is theredrumpodcasters@gmail.com. Rate and review us on all of your platforms, please. It really
helps
will.
us.
Yeah, it'll help boost us into like whenever people just search for something random that will pop up. But yeah, I mean, you've already covered the website and everything, and
yeah, and there's something which I was gonna mention or talk to you about, but what the hell, we're just gonna go ahead and include all of our listeners into this too, just so that they would know that we're talking about it. So a lot of Christmas traditions, right? You have your stories and your musicals or songs or whatever, and they used to, way back in the day, get together on Christmas Eve and tell ghost stories.
oh yeah, I've heard of this.
So
It was like an English tradition, isn't it?
Yes, it is. It is currently August, and I would absolutely fucking love it if we got some stories from our listeners that we could put in for a Christmas Eve spooky story time episode.
I'm down. I would love to do that. That sounds so cool.
Yeah, I think it'd be super cool. We could get, have a little food or some drinks or something.
So please submit your stories so that we can make this happen and we can have a fun Christmas talking about ghosts.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I could probably supply a couple stories, but I'm going to need a little help. I don't know if I could come up with like a whole episode. Okay, I probably could, but it'd be really boring to just hear about mine. I'd love to hear what you guys have and stuff like that. I know I've talked to a few people just about their experiences and just, gave them our email and just, hey, type them up, whatever, send a voice memo, record it, whatever you feel like doing, and we can work on getting it in here just because, we think that'd be super awesome. But yeah, so that's pretty much, everything we have.
I will say this. If you do submit stories to us, if we ever get stories, if you want to be kept anonymous, please, state that.
Yes, please do. Otherwise, we're going to say whoever you are.
Yeah. Because that's kind of part of, oh, you submitted a story, so you kind of get, shouted out somewhat on the pod, so.
And also, if you do not write it up a certain way or specify whether or not it is whatever your pronouns are, you're just going to get whatever the hell I feel like calling it. If it's a boy name, you're getting a boy, and if it's a girl name, you're getting a girl, and I'm sorry. But if you don't specify, I'm just going to go ahead and blanket statement that so that nobody can get offended later. Okay, so specify if you want it specified. Type it up that way, because whatever you type, we'll try to keep it all like that. So, just want to make sure I touch base on that before it's a problem.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, hopefully we hear from you guys. Like I said, check us out, rate, review, do all that fun stuff. And, you can always reach out for, for anything, really, feedback or anything like that. So, I guess we'll go ahead and wrap this one up and take care of yourselves, and we'll talk to you next week.
Stay strange.